In this video, I'm going to demonstrate how to use our iterative program by example to transform data format by just entering examples. So we can see that we have a column of the person's name. Some of the person's name are last name, comma, blank space, and first name. And some of the names are basically first name, middle name, and last name. So we want to change them into the same format. Basically, start from the first name and followed by middle name and the last name. So to transform this data into the same format, the user only needs to enter the target output here. The system will automatically learn a program that can transform this input into this output and apply the program to the thousands of other records. And because the whole dataset may contain thousands of records, it's harder for the user to go through every record to identify certain records are transformed incorrectly. So our system provides a recommendation for the users. So the user can only check this recommendation area to identify the incorrect result without going through the entire dataset. So we can say that this one is already transformed correctly. So the user can basically click this check button to confirm that this one is correct. So this one will be added as a new example. The system will learn a new transformation program and apply that new transformation program to the rest of the data. So we can say that this one is transformed incorrectly. It's probably because this name has a middle name. So we can add a new example here. So we can say that our system not just show the transform the result, it also show the correspondence between the input and the output. We can say that this Russell is colored with the same color as the Russell in the input. So that this means, okay, this Russell is copied from this Russell in the input, and this Smith is copied from this Smith in the input. So this would allow user to have an insight of the learned transformation. So if the user find, okay, all the records are transformed correctly, the user can basically click this submit to submit this transformed records, and this transformed record will be added into the original table as a new column. So our system is not just able to transform one type of data, it's able to handle all kinds of text data. So we now load another dataset. We can say that this dataset contains all the names for the politicians in America. So we can say that these names don't just contain the name, it also contains a prefix and a suffix. And we want to get rid of this prefix and suffix and just keep the name. So this is a different transformation from the first scenario. As the first scenario requires us to reordering the first name and the last name, and this one requires the system to learn a program that can remove the prefix and the suffix. So the user still type the target data here. And we can see that certain representatives have that nickname in the middle of their name. So we also want to get rid of this nickname just to keep it their names. So we remove this. Now our system are able to distinguish these two different formats. And if the name contains a nickname, it will not just get rid of the prefix and the suffix, it will also get rid of the nickname. And if the name here doesn't contain the nickname, it just get rid of the prefix and the suffix. So our system essentially learns a conditional statement that can distinguish these different formats. So when we find most of the records in the recommended area are transformed correctly, we can click the submit button to submit the transformed result, and the result will be added as a new column in the data table. Thank you, that's all of this demo.